I am Dr. P. Suganti, Assistant Professor from Department of Business Administration, V.V. Vanya Perumal College for Women. The topic that I will be discussing today is listing. The flow of this presentation would be introduction to the concept of listing, what the company will derive as benefits because of listing, the requirements that the company has to fulfill as a part of listing process, the procedures the company need to follow, and finally the regulatory approvals the company has to obtain as a part of listing. Suppose an existing handicraft shop wants to expand to a higher scale. Among the many options available, the company can enroll or register itself in an online platform like Amazon, Flipkart, etc. so that it can have access to a larger clientele. As a part of this, the company is expected to follow the rules and regulations of the online platform like offering quality product, variety, fair price, home delivery and so on. And what would be the benefits? The company will be able to provide easy trade options to its customers. Large number of clients can be accessed. As it is present online, the company has enhanced brand visibility and this will increase the orders for the company, of course, increase sales and profits. Similarly, if an existing company wants to get new or additional investment for itself, that can be for the purpose of growth and expansion, debt repayment, etc. So among the many options available, the company can plan to access public capital. So to be able to access public capital, the company has to approach SEBI to obtain the smaller denominations of capital from hundreds of thousands of investors. So to be able to access this capital, the company has to comply with the rules and regulations imposed by SEBI. Having complied with the rules and regulations, the company proceeds to enroll itself in a stock exchange. And why should it enroll itself in a stock exchange? By enrolling itself in a stock exchange, the company can give an exit option to the existing investors and new investors can buy its shares. And that is listing. Formal admission of company securities like shares or bonds to a recognized stock exchange for the purpose of trading. There are huge benefits that the company will derive because of listing. The first and foremost would be access to large capital. And as the company is subjecting itself to the strict norms laid down by the regulatory authorities, the company is now able to be very transparent, and this also increases the credibility and trust of the investors. And the stock exchanges are online now, so the company is now visible to millions of investors now. As it is approaching a larger investor base, the company's cost of capital also comes down remarkably. The company is now able to explore diverse funding options like equity shares, debt and other securities. Another important benefit is the company is able to offer liquidity to the existing shareholders and they can exit from this investment to explore better investment opportunities. The company has to follow corporate governance practices laid down by SEBI Companies Act so that the company is being run ethically and professionally. Certainly the brand image of the company is enhanced because of the listing process. The employees are also offered shares as a part of their package and this listing will also provide them an opportunity to trade in the shares. This also helps in retaining the talent of the company. The company is able to obtain a transparent valuation because of its transparent practices. The analysts and investors are able to assess the growth of the company in the future and then obtain a transparent valuation of its future operations. And the company also follows professional management so that all the regulatory conditions are being met by the company. The requirements that the company has to fulfill to be able to obtain a listing permission. Firstly, financial requirements. In terms of financial requirements, the company has to maintain a minimum paid up capital as prescribed by the norms, net worth, a profitability track record for a reasonable period of time, net tangible assets worth of 3 crores of rupees, minimum issue size, market capitalization post issue to the extent of at least 25 crores of rupees, promoter contribution restricted to the extent of 75%, leverage ratio preferably in the range of 3:1, etc. So these norms can be checked from time to time, and these have to be followed by the company in the financial area. As a part of operational requirements, the company is expected to be in business for at least 3 years preceding the IPO process. Promoters' experience in the business is mandatory. No pending proceedings or case against the company should be there at the time of listing process, and there should be no default in the interest payments by the company. As a part of listing process, the company is expected to maintain a minimum public shareholding of 25%. So this is being imposed so that there are reasonable portion of investors in the total investors, at least 25% are public people. So their interests are not compromised by the company. Corporate governance practices as laid down by the Companies Act and SEBI have to be strictly followed. As a part of documentary requirements, a draft red herring prospectus giving all the details about the company, its prospects, its futures, the opinion of the management, its expansion plans and so on should be filed with SEBI, and after getting approval from SEBI, it has to be filed with the Register of Companies. Audited financial statements have to be filed. And all the agreements that the company has entered into with various intermediaries, suppliers and so many other parties have to be filed as a process of documentary requirement. And any other compliance requirement that is imposed by BSE or NSE have to be strictly followed. The procedure of listing has 5 steps in it. Pre-IPO preparation, how the company prepares itself before deciding to go public, and what are the regulatory filings and approvals that the company has to fulfill. Understand the investor demand for the company's shares and thereby determine the price of its shares. Proceed with public offering and listing, and finally follow the post-listing practices. As a part of pre-IPO preparation, the first thing is to decide that the company is going to become public. As it has decided to become public, the company has to appoint investment bankers who will guide through the entire process of IPO and listing. A formation of IPO team which has the top management, legal counsel, auditors, investment bankers and top officials will be formed who will be monitoring all the IPO related activities of the company. And the due diligence is very essential. All the internal process of the company has to be realigned so that the regulatory conditions are properly met. As a part of regulatory filings and approvals, as already discussed, draft red herring prospectus giving all the details of the company to the prospective investors, it has to be filed. So this will give all the necessary details about the company to the investors who can understand about the company and decide about investing in the company. All the filings with the regulatory authorities has to be strictly followed. Application to stock exchange has to be given wherein listing will be permitted by the stock exchange. The financial requirements have to be strictly met. Corporate governance practices should be strictly followed. Public shareholding norms should be followed, and compliance with all the legal procedures has to be properly done. The next step would be to conduct road shows and meetings with the investors and analysts, prospective investors and analysts, to understand how the demand for this company's securities is in the market, and thereby the company arrives at a price for its securities. So price determination will be the next step. Then the company proceeds to the actual process of public offering and listing. So IPO is open for public subscription, allotment of shares happen, listing in stock exchanges is carried out, and the trading commences on a fine day. And as a part of post-listing requirement, continuous compliance to all the regulatory conditions have to be strictly followed. And investor relations is very, very essential to maintain the investor base and to encourage investors to stay invested in the company. As a part of regulations related to listing, there are various regulations imposed by these 5 authorities. SEBI, as a part of issue and capital disclosure and requirements. SEBI, as a part of issue of capital and disclosure requirements regulations 2018. The company has to follow all the conditions being prescribed under this Act. Listing obligation and disclosure requirements regulations 2015. The conditions imposed in this Act has to be strictly followed. The norms prescribed by Companies Act 2013 should be followed. Securities Contracts Regulation Act 1956 should be followed. And finally, the rules and bylaws of the stock exchange, either NSE or BSE or both, should be strictly adhered to. So with all these, the company can grandly list itself and enjoy all the benefits of listing. Thank you.